I'm Chris Shattuck, and this is how to add fields to a view and work with the date module. In this chapter, we explore how to add and configure fields in a view. We install a module that throws some errors and talk about what those errors mean. And finally, we add and configure a date field. In the last chapter, we ended by looking at the views interface for adding a view. And again, a view is simply a way to display content using the views module. In this case, we're building a table of content for our calendar page. So we've gone through the wizard part and we've explained what the various groups of settings are on the second settings page. Now let's go ahead and begin adjusting this view so that it starts to look like what we have in the mockups. We haven't saved our view yet. We're in the process of configuring it. And we've gone through the settings at the top of the page. At the bottom of the page, if we scroll down to the very bottom, we'll see this checkbox here that says Auto Preview. And if this is checked, the changes that we make will automatically be previewable down here at the very bottom, under this content section here. And you see we actually already have some content. It's a table view, and we have a single column displaying the title for each one of these tours. So we have our Jump for Joy, Choral of Your Dreams, and the Mount McKinley Club listed already. And if we jump back to our mockup, you see that we already have our first column here. So our next step is to add the dates. So let's go ahead and do that next. I'm going to jump back to the browser, and I'm going to scroll up to the settings. And here we have the fields, and we currently have the title, which is our one column that we have already. Let's go ahead and add a new field by clicking the add link here. It will pop up an overlay with a list of the fields that we can add. Now there's a lot of options here. If you scroll down, you'll see a list of all of the fields that we can add. Some of them will make sense and some of them might not at this point. So let's go ahead and narrow down the options available to us by adding a keyword in this search box here. I'm going to go ahead and type in date. And as I do, our results narrow and we only have a few options now. We have content dates, and it says that it appears in Node Tour. So this is its way of saying that this is a field that appears in the tour node type or content type. And this is actually the one that we want. So let's go ahead and check this. And down here it'll tell us which we've selected. We can select multiple fields at the same time, but let's begin by selecting one at a time. And let's click Add and Configure Fields. This will bring up a configuration for this particular field, and let's briefly go through these settings.